Okay, it looks like I perhaps am live right now. Hopefully I'm live. I believe I'm live. Okay, it looks like there we go. And there goes the echo. Okay, so here we are again. It's December 8th. We should be pretty ecstatic about the fact that the eviction moratorium potentially will be ending in January. But I'm questioning that. I'm truly questioning that. Will it truly end? It's hard to say right now because there's a lot of questions in place. There's a lot of intangibles that could cause a complete other situation. Now, that situation is not necessarily something that the media is really talking about, and they're not necessarily understanding what could potentially happen right now. But anybody that's a landlord most definitely understands what could happen. And I'm going to say a couple of things here before I jump into that. I'm just going to make a point of letting people know that I've been quiet for the most part for the past couple of months. It's been a while since we've had a landlord roundtable, and I think it's well overdue. We should be having another one soon. And anybody that's watching this and is interested in participating in a landlord roundtable, I ask you to leave a comment and let me know if you're interested in participating in it. And if you are, we'll orchestrate something on a schedule that will work for the most part, for most people. But why am I this somber right now? Why am I thinking in a way where we might have more problems? Well, here's the thing. I was recently watching a live stream. Not a live stream. I was actually watching a video made by a fellow landlord and fellow advocate, Matthew Lyman. And he brought up a serious point. He brought up a few very good points. And if you don't know Matthew Lyman, you should definitely check his channel. It's called the Landlord Advocates. This is the channel. This is the video that I'm pertaining to. Landlords, you have enough.
You have been asking the Landlord Advocates on and off social media since early September. Do you believe that the New York State Eviction Moratorium will be extended past January 15th, 2022? We believe that.
Now that's a question. I'm not sure any of us have a true answer for. And I strongly suggest that you watch that entire video by Matthew Lyman. And as soon as I'm done with this stream, I'm going to put the links down below in order for you to be able to check out what he's exactly talking about. But he did bring up some really, really valid points, and it got me thinking differently. Now, I've been very skeptical, to say the least. as far as whether they're going to extend or keep this thing going. I've been very skeptical. I've been trying to be optimistic about it as much as possible. But I'm also thinking that they might stop this moratorium. They might end this moratorium. But we might not. We really, really might not have a true resolution. I don't think that we will. Because what's going to happen right now is the courts, they're going to get backed up. They're going to get truly backed up. And even if they have intention of trying to get through this whole process, then they logistically, then they don't have the manpower to be able to do anything with this. They really don't. And anybody that believes that they do, please tell me how. Tell me how this could possibly happen. Because I don't see it. I don't see it. They're going to be backed up. They're going to be locked up. There's already so many things in place right now that are pending, that are up in the air right now. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get sorted out, and it takes time. And Matthew actually brought another valid point. We're in the deep winter right now. Say we get hit with snow, but let's say we get hit with a harsh winter. How will that affect us? Will the courts show mercy on the people that are going to be evicted right now, or should be evicted right now? Will they? I don't know. It's hard. It's very, very hard to be able to see if there's some kind of valid way to ensure that landlords are finally going to get their rights. I don't see it happening. I really don't. I think it's going to be more of the same. And what do we do until then? How do we find some kind of salvation? How do we find some kind of justice as far as what's been happening? And we've talked about this in the past. We've talked about this many times, where, you know, for some reason, housing providers are the only ones, they're literally the only ones that are being put in this position. How does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? It doesn't. It's insane. It really is. To me personally, I'm actually, as we speak, I'm actually going to be putting in the link to this stream on Facebook. If there's anybody that wants to jump on now while I'm on live, and they want to say their throw their 2 cents in, they're more than welcome to. You know, I have no problem. I have no problem whatsoever sharing the platform and hearing other people's stories. And this doesn't necessarily only apply to people that are landlords and housing providers. it also applies to people that are from the tenant side. If you believe that you want to give your 2 cents in, if you really want to add your opinions to the mix, you're more than welcome going on there, because I have no issue listening to both sides. And there are people out there. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people out there that are tenants and they are facing hardships. And we should have some compassion for them as well. You know, there's people that are being affected all across the platform. They really are. But for some reason, the only ones that are being penalized and being punished are the housing providers. And that makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense to me. I'm very disillusioned with this whole situation. Speaking off the cuff, this is a video that I decided to do impromptu. And it's because of the fact that it's been such a long time since I really directly spoke about this. I mean, it's only been a couple of weeks since we started the real estate play again. And like I said, there was multitude of reasons why this has we've had a hiatus, both for business reasons, personal reasons. I had to take some step back, and I had to take a little bit time off from doing these regular streams along with the radio show. There was some contractual things that were going on with WGBB, so I had to make sure that was cleared up as well. But this is, well, you know, we should be preparing right now of how to be able to move forward after 2 years. It's been 2 years of insanity, of being stepped on as landlords, as housing providers. It's been a complete nightmare. And I don't know how to be able to work with this in a way where I could know how to be able to conduct my business, my livelihood, my everything. And I know that there's so many other people that are out there like me. It's a really, really tough position to be in. It's rough. I'm going to put an invitation in to the chat, in the live chat. And if you wanted to join, you're more than welcome to. But even if you don't, I have no issue. I have no issue just stating my piece and then formally putting a real roundtable together. Like I said in the beginning of the video, that I am intending to start these roundtables again. You know, they were a bit therapeutic for a lot of us. And I wish I didn't stop when I was doing them. I'm gonna just make sure that it's in there. Oh man, they give me a whole big Zoom thing over here, just as usual. It has to get complicated. All right, no, we can't have things that are simple. So let me get rid of a lot of this stuff. Get rid of a lot of this extra Zoom dialogue. Get rid of the mobile, get rid of. Get rid of the password. We're just going to give the link. Hopefully that's enough for people to be able to join on. I'll put that there too. There we go. Got it in the platforms on social media as well. Hopefully that does it. Again, like I said, I didn't do this organized. I didn't, this is impromptu. It's something that I just wanted to get out there, start another dialogue happening. I wanted to make sure that people knew that I was taking attention to everything that's happening. And even though I was not completely vocally involved, I was doing what I can from behind the scenes. And I'll continue to do that. I definitely will. All right, looks like everybody's all synced up. All the platforms are all synced up. Looks like we're there. Perfect. All right. So like I said, Matthew brought up a couple of really, really valid points. I think Matthew, out of all of us, has been the one voice through YouTube, through social media, that has been consistently out there advocating for his rights, for our rights, for all of us. And he continues to do so every day. And through his videos, he does this very often. You know, he's relentless as far as what he needs to do and how he needs to put out his message. And I love that about him. I've talked to Matthew a few times, and he's a genuine guy. He's not one of these individuals that are out there to get us one way or the other and looking to scam people and that kind of thing. He's not. And at least at least that's my judgment call. That's how I feel about it. You know, he does it for a living. He does advocate for landlords for a living, and he does go and fight court, go into courts and fight for them and that kind of thing. Same way I'm related into the real estate field where I sell properties. We're all intertwined in one way or the other. But you could tell that there's something really, really genuine about him as far as how he goes about it and what he believes. Now, there's been a lot of people, there's been a lot of landlords out there that have already put their stories out there. Everybody knows the Clarence Hammer story, Rosanna's story. So many other people that have vocally shown how they're being mistreated and have had their rights violated and taken away from them. An enormous amount of people. And they started telling their stories, and some of them have had some good results. Some of them have had no results. Some people have gone from a situation from bad to worse. There's people out there that right now are financially crippled and may never actually recover. My heart's out to them. My heart's out to everybody that's suffering right now. whether they're able to recover or not able to recover, they should not be able to they should not be forced to be put in this position. And everybody loves to say like cute little statements like whatever, you know, people love to say nice little cute type of statements like whatever doesn't hurt you, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, guess what? Some things kill you slowly and they don't make you stronger. And that's what they're trying to do right now. Who's they? Who's they? It's the people that are making these laws. Something that people really need to take notice of. Right now we're right on the cusp of having a couple of new figures that are on the higher ups that have been elected in November that are going to take over. And possibly they might do things to help us. They might do things to be able to put us in a position to recover somehow. I'm doubtful though. I don't really have that much confidence then that will be the case. But I hope I'm wrong. I'm wrong. My biggest issue is, they're talking about the rent relief money that's there to help people recover money for tenants that have been, they have been staying in the apartments for extended periods of time and not paying. And that's great. That's great. That's somehow going to make people whole a little bit. But what happens to all the people that got up and left during this 2-year time period? It just got up and left. What happens to the money that's lost from them? Oh, we're just not going to look into that? Or how about the people that were the deadbeats, and I'm going to say deadbeats, that stayed in the apartments even though they were working and they weren't justified to do non-payments, that will eventually either get evicted or get up and leave? How is all that money going to get recovered? What, you're going to get a judgment and you're going to be able to get them? You're going to get pennies a dollar if you get anything back from these situations. That's not going to make anybody whole. Or how about the debt that's accrued on landlords while trying to sustain and build up this, and all the interest they're paying and lost money that they had to put in just to keep themselves afloat to get to the day where maybe the rent relief program will subsidize them and pay them back, or maybe that the tenants somehow come up with the money for all that time lost. Nobody's talking about that. Or how about the fact that the state continuously was charging property taxes? Whether you liked it or not, you still had to continue to pay property taxes. Are we not going to address that? These are the type of issues we need to talk about. Right now, there were a lot of injustices done, and we're not out of this yet. We're not out of this yet. And there's nobody showing accountability for all the poor decisions that were made. Now, the guy at top that was the ringleader of a lot of these poor decisions, he's out of office right now. He's got his own issues he's facing. He's got a lot of issues he's facing right now. I'll tell you that much. But none of them related to what we're dealing with. None, nothing. How are we going to fix this? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody help me with a clear-cut understanding of how this is going to work? This is the reason why we need to have more roundtables. This is the reason why we need to get ourselves. I'm sorry if I'm looking a little distracted while I'm doing the stream. I'm getting multiple messages hitting me left and right. Okay, so somebody just messaged me that they want to jump in, but here's the thing: I have the link. I have the link for the Zoom right into the chat. So if you want to, you could click on there. If you're having difficulty, let me know, and you could jump on. I put the invite right there, so you could be able to. Anybody could jump in there if they want. Not sure if he's going from a remote locations. People have a tendency of always trying to get on these things when there's poor Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But my thing is, what is going to be done to somehow mend all the bad sentiment right now that has been created? Because this whole scenario, this entire scenario was created artificially, and it was created in a way, now I don't know by intention or unintentionally, but it was created in a way which caused a divide in people. Just the way it is. There was no reason. You had perfectly great functioning type of scenarios where the landlords and the tenants were working together. They were coexisting in a great way. A lot of tenants were happy with their landlords. A lot of landlords were happy with their tenants. There was no animosity going on. And then you had a bunch of them that got word that they don't have to pay for rent. So what happens? Human nature happens. People found a way to work the system. At whose expense? At the landlord's expense. The other thing that has not been addressed properly and nobody's shown any intention of rectifying it. All the cases that were pending prior to this eviction moratorium that got halted and delayed and consistently over and over again put in a scenario where non-payments are continuing. They're continuing. And to top it off, the cherry on top, the non-payments are continuing, and they're making a bigger financial travesty than you could imagine. You know, a lot of people are looking at the landlords in a way where, well, who cares? Let's play the role of haves and have-nots. Well, a lot of these landlords are not the haves. And even the property that they're running, that they're managing, it's not completely theirs. They're still paying that off to a bank. And they had to work hard to put a deposit down. And a lot of times the landlords are living in the house. This is their house that they're on the verge of losing. Nobody's looking at it like that. They don't care. You got tenants throwing 26-pound toolboxes on people. You have attacking people. And the landlord is still forced in a situation to have to live in fear. And we have so many scenarios like that. How are we going to handle all the buyouts? How are we going to handle all the buyouts where people were forced to pay these negligible people, these tyrants, I want to call them, to get out of their property, to stop the bleeding? Where's that going to be recovered from? It's not. It's not going to be recovered. But that being said, I just wanted to get on. I wanted to say my piece. I wanted to say what I can about this whole scenario. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to put something together soon. And we'll be able to continue with the landlord roundtables, and possibly as a group, as a unit, one, give ourselves comfort, and two, beyond giving ourselves comfort, trying to find a group resolution of how we could get past this and how we could convince the powers above to actually do the right thing for once. I would love to see that happen. And if that can happen, I think we'll be able to move forward and then actually put things behind us. But until then, I appreciate everybody listening, whether it's on the live stream or whether it's on a replay. And don't forget to leave a comment if you're one of the individuals that want to participate in one of the future roundtables. Until then, thank you for watching and have a great night.